It's
We're
not
live.
And I think we are live. Yes, we were doing a lot of this, and now we're back on the panel. Hey, everybody. Hey, Joe and Lynn. Welcome back to the
Hi.
panel. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you for having us.
Yeah.
I liked one of your topics this evening. I'm probably going to chat it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah? Which topic?
Really?
Aligning one's personal frequency to be effective.
Aligning
Yes.
to what?
Not necessarily to be the highest you can get it, just to be effective. Yes.
That's
Aligning it to what, though?
to your
Whatever
needs at the moment.
Oh.
Not because what she was talking about was you hear a lot about raising your vibration, raising your frequency, but that doesn't mean you raise it past where you need it to be. You need it to be, if you're driving a car, you don't need to be having airplane vibes going through you or rocket pilot vibes going. You need car vibes.
Oh, man. Does that mean I get
squirrel and everything?
Yeah, I put on those old, those old rock and roll songs that talk about the cars going fast, my hot rod Chevy or whatever.
I always put
Hot
on
Rod
and
Lincoln.
she had fun till her daddy took the T-Bird away.
Yeah.
That only happened to me once.
Yeah, really?
One of the most,
just once?
Yeah, just once.
I do Danger Zone.
You do. Frank does Danger Zone on the radio. So, but yeah, just once.
Sliding into the slide zone.
You kinda.
Moody Blues.
I was a new driver, and I took a curve too fast going to school, and my father was coming the opposite way and saw me. Man, the barbecue was on that night, and my bottom was getting fried. But he took the keys away. He goes, when you can drive like a decent human being, I'll let you have them back.
Yeah, that kind of happened to me too.
My mother handed him back to me the next morning and said, I need you to do. And that was it. Hey, Joe, what happened to you?
What?
Oh, there you are.
Oh, yeah, there I am.
Yeah, you clocked out for a second.
No, just the picture.
Yeah, what you were saying about vibration. There is such a thing as getting your vibration so high you clear a room.
Mm-hmm.
People can't handle it.
Why did the witch bring the step ladder to the circle?
I hate it when you do this.
She heard that everybody was going to be in high spirits that night.
I can't help
it.
Okay,
we need the there.
I know. I need to get some sound effects going.
There is something about my brain that does not handle stories like that. Pundits.
Puns.
Yeah, little dummy things, and I just don't hold them. I can't do it. Haven't been able to do it ever. And he says there's a written test after the show.
No, that's down the line. But we can always take out the fun part.
If I ever get it right, put it back on the test. I might remember it. I may as well get 1 point.
Yeah. At the conference today, they had quizzes. It was kind of a trivia question. You win a book. I didn't try because, I could have, but I didn't know most of the answers anyway. But they were it wasn't written. It was verbal. So people the first person they see raise their hand, and that didn't work very well because he's reading the question. They already know the answer. So he's
okay.
like, which one of you raised your hand first? Room full of ghost hunters, and they're asking about ghosts and UFOs and stuff. And everybody's like, yes, I know it.
It's like asking a doctor, how do you spot gastroenteritis?
Right.
You know how that's done, don't you? Patient comes in yelling, I got a tummy ache. Now that I know.
But yeah, Joe, you wanted to talk about the frequency that you need to be at instead of raising your frequency. I said that they covered it in the conference today. So go ahead. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, aligning one's personal frequency to be effective and balanced is a topic that can resonate with a wide audience. So that's probably the reason why they picked it. Many people are interested in self improvement and self development. And this concept can be approached from many angles. And of course, working as we do in a coven, mindfulness and meditation are probably our first tools that we use. We discuss how to practice mindfulness and meditation to connect with our inner selves, to reduce stress, and to improve our effectiveness and our ability to manifest. But you can do it from another angle. You can do it from self-care and well-being. To emphasize the importance of self-care routines and healthy habits in maintaining one's energies and effectiveness. And of course, getting back to our group, spirituality and cultural practices. Explore how different spirituality and cultural traditions incorporate into rituals and practices that do raise one's personal spirits to be in harmony with the environment around us. You can also go, oh, I had it. Oh, production and setting. You can address relationship between personal frequency and achieving one's goals and tasks effectively. And then lastly, you can get community and support. And that's, like what's the temples there for? It's for there for community and support of pagans and to help individuals in their journey to alignment and effectiveness. So that's basically my thoughts in a nutshell there, Nathan.
Okay. Those are good thoughts. And I agree. This was Mallory Sawitzky's presentation. She was talking about personal frequency and raising it up, but to be in harmony with this. Me and her, I was vibing with her, but she was super busy. She's younger than us, right? And she had much more
Practically a whole
energy.
solar system.
Yeah, I remember when Pluto was a planet, okay?
And I tried to talk to her for a few minutes, but she's a young, pretty blonde girl. So it's like having an alien girl in the room. Everybody wants to talk to her. So I got in line. I had my 15 seconds and I was like, okay, I'll see you later. But she was the one talking about it. And I bought her book. I did a solo yesterday. Sorry, it was a solo. It wasn't announced. I didn't expect to do it. I didn't know it was going to happen. I need more of those. So I bought her book. I'm going to read it. It's real stories. She had 2 books up there. One was fantasy based on, or fiction based on reality. And I was like, not my speed. Let me get the other one though. And yeah. So that was her part of her topic, was using your vibes to fit the situation, not to overrun everything. Because I agree, Joe, that you want to work in harmony, not just run the roost. Because there's this thing, and you said it, productivity, right? You could work yourself out of a job. You could be so productive that the job is done and they don't need you no more. So that's not such a good thing. I've seen that happen lots of times. People when I was living in Carthage, a bunch of people were making oven liners, and they got so far ahead of quota that they shut the factory down 3 months early because they didn't need them anymore. That's a fair example of going above and beyond, putting yourself out of work.
And well, that's also an example of not having community within that factory.
Hmm.
I'm sure that you could have gotten somebody off the production floor and had them go out and sell that product to a larger group of individuals out there somewhere. So,
Hmm.
promoting this particular topic, we can do this through articles, workshops, discussions in the community, and it can be a popular theme for individuals seeking personal growth and balance in their life. In fact, if anybody has any questions or need any guidance on this, please be free to ask any of the three of us here.
Yeah, we all have experience in that.
A
And
good deal of
speaking
it.
of, yeah, speaking of that, the whole conference was very linear. Okay, it was very not like the way we do stuff here. Like we go boom, 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 wherever it takes us. I do that in the solo. We do that here on the panel. They were like, we're sticking to a script and we're bump, 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 bump. It was like that.
Maybe that
That
was part
was
of the conference's criteria to be in their conference.
Right.
right. It
You know,
is. It is. It is their wheelhouse. And that's something
Mhm.
else I said because, guys, I could have easily gotten up on that stage and done this show there because I'm ready all the time. Okay. Because this is not a topic of discussion for me. This is my life. And oh, you need a topic?
And
I got
there's
one.
the
I got one.
difference.
Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, there's the difference. Uh, a lot of people will work a job, not have a life, you know, or make their job their life. If you can do that, not everyone can, and not everyone should. But if you can have a means of income and resource that is something you love, you you may not
Mhm.
have a fabulous life all the time, but you'll have the life you want.
Mhm.
And that's a
Yeah.
big part of it.
Yeah. These people, I got the feeling from from a lot of them, okay? Not the presenters, but the people attending, that this was kind of like a part-time thing for them. Not all of them. Some of them live in it, but I got the feeling that these were part-timers. That they okay, example, right? They like the structure was tripping me out. The structure of the whole presentation was tripping me out. They said, "Okay, everybody, raise your hands. Who's seen a UFO? Who's seen a ghost? Who's seen a cryptid?" And it's that kind of thing that
Mm.
if you've seen a ghost, raise your hand and tell us your story. That's me, Raise your hand and get to the front of the room. We want to hear about it, you know. And it just there were some full timers there too. Okay. The presenters were mostly full timers. Nathan Isaac, the four people that I was really impressed with: Nathan Isaac, Mallory Sawinski, Tobias Wayland, and Kiki Dombrowski. Now I've seen Kiki, I saw her last year. She is witchy. She was the one doing the tarot cards.
Oh,
That
okay.
was her topic. And unlike this show, she stayed on topic. And
No, that's not a bad thing to move around, but staying on top is not a bad thing either.
yeah, it, I mean, it just, but I felt constricted. I felt like I was, at times, I was in a box and that I couldn't move around and I felt uncomfortably confined sometimes. And that was just the
Oh,
mood
well,
of
there's
the
your
topic.
tarot cards right there. You were
Mhm,
reading your time frame, what you were doing.
mhm. Yeah, my tarot cards. So far, everyone has told me that's not such a great reading to get.
It's not a bad one. It's
No,
very
it could have
informative
been the
one.
7 of swords instead of the 8.
You could have got 7 instead of the 8. Yeah, that's true. But no, it's not a bad reading. Not in and of itself.
It's telling.
It's an informative reading. It was one that said, "Hey, look, you have all these gifts and abilities, and you're a free spirit, but you're all bound up in a box. You just said it yourself."
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
There it is. I
Yeah.
think you're
Oh,
reading. I think you're reading the conference.
yeah. There was an energy there of its own. And I got more of a there was a mix of stuff. Most of the people in there were what you would call the followers, not the leaders. Most of the people in there were the followers. And that's okay. There were muggles there, but there was some energy in that room. Okay, I kept getting pings from all over. I got a couple of big ones, but I got pings all over, and I kept having to re-shield, and I was like, shield. Okay, just remember shield, because even in a small group like that, there was no more than 50 people, and to me, that's a small group, unless I'm having a bad day, But that's a small group. It wasn't like the Bigfoot conference where it was an NFL game with Bigfoot. That's what it was over there. But I was getting pings all over the place. One big one, I had the tone come in my ear. Really, I could not hear because the tone came in so loud over here. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm paying attention now. What's going on? But nothing really happened after that.
Well, a
And
place like that, people are reading each other's auras. They're trying to read each other back and forth. That's probably what you're feeling.
yeah, and weird to me, people kept coming up to me and making direct eye contact. I can do that. I'm comfortable with that. But people can, and there was this one dude, okay? Every time I walked, I would run into him, almost literally sometimes. And that was things where I was being herded at this thing, right? I was being shown, go here, go there, go here, go there. And right near on the second part of it, right? This is great. I don't know if you heard this, right? But they were getting ready to do the last part, and they handed out index cards for questions. I said, I don't have a pen. So I went to my car to get a pen. As I was getting out of my car, the pen fell apart. And it was a brand new pen. Yeah, I was like, okay, I get it. No question for me. And Xena was telling me, I was getting the impression, enjoy it, live in the moment, but don't get too into it. I was like, okay, I got you. I understand. So I didn't. I mean, I talked to the people. I was like, hey, and points that we identify well with and get along with, and it was great talking to the people. But I didn't invest myself, and I didn't really say bye when I left because there was still an hour to go, and I just poof, I slipped away. I said bye to the front desk girl, and I was like, okay, gotta go. See ya. Bye. And it was smooth sailing.
Did she care?
She just said bye too. She didn't really care. She just said bye. They didn't know me, but I got recognized. That was fun. I got recognized. I don't know if it's from here, if it was from the year before, but I was recognized by a few people. That was cool, y'all.
Excellent.
I can know. I get the impression that with all the pinging going on, there were a few energy suckers.
Oh yeah. But I was guarding myself. I just kind of do it by instinct now. Before it was
You need to.
paranoid. Yeah, it was before I learned to do it on purpose. It was paranoid defensiveness. Now it's, and I honed the ability over the past little while since the last one over these other events, right?
Mhm.
It's shields up, but I can perceive. So I wasn't talking, but I was watching and listening,
No.
and it seems to work.
Yeah.
You
One of the
get better
things
and
that
better.
Joe is saying. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was done. Go ahead.
One of the things that Joe is talking about was adjusting your frequency to the situation. When you can feel a lot of attention and you're not sure why, being able to put those shields up is wonderful. But most people don't realize that you still have to be able to use your senses outside that shield. You don't want to do such a good job. You can't
Bing.
perceive outside. Yeah,
Right.
I understood what you were getting at. Absolutely. But it's when you're working with energy in particular, it's very easy to build a stone tower around yourself and not be able to get out of it because you can't perceive what's on the outside of you and they can't get in. So putting that shield up so that it's more like transparent aluminum.
Mhm.
So the vibration and frequency can get out and you can feel your way out,
Mhm.
and see it.
I have to bring
It's
this
better.
up.
Mm.
Akashi Chris just bought the show a coffee. Thank you,
Excellent.
Akashi
Thank
Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and tweet this.
That's fabulous. Thank you very much.
It
And we'll
goes
just
to the
remind
show.
everybody.
She says, "Love you, Nathan. Rocking it at the Quantum Show. Booyah. Oh, yeah."
Yeah,
That was
really.
from an hour ago, according to this, but the time change is different for her than it is for me. So I don't know what time it came in.
Well, we appreciate all things of that nature. And the
Yes.
recognition is fabulous.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Spike Fairy. You ought to see me when I'm walking my wife's Shih Tzu in my biker jacket.
Oh, God.
It entertains the neighbors.
Oh, boy. He's just strutting his stuff with that Shih Tzu in tow.
No, that you got it wrong. The Shih Tzu has me in tow. You know how muggy he
I
is.
knew that. Yeah, I was teasing.
Anyway, back to our subject.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
just wanted to give Spike Fairy a thank you for noticing the jacket.
Yeah,
Even though
I
it's
will
older
go
than he
ahead
is.
and he did it too. Spike Fairy sent a coffee early in the solo. I was
Well, thank you.
thank you
Appreciate it.
very much. Okay, and I now I don't know what I'm doing. Okay,
Well,
I'll
we
just
were
leave it there
talking
for now.
about energy and frequency.
Hmm. And defensiveness and being psych blind, and you don't want to put up such good shields that you blind yourself and you're a turtle inside your shell. You want to be able
That's
to
right.
know what's going on, and it takes practice because you got to be able to hold the shield up, but keep a lookout.
Well,
And
we were all locked down for quite a spell, and not a good spell in my book, but lockdown. And Frank and I kind of aren't out all that much to start with, but I really realized when I went out the first time I hadn't put my shields in place. That I had let them slide some because, well, there was no need there at home, not much anyway, and I had to put all of that right back up.
Mhm.
Once you've dropped them and you're kind of used to having them up, putting them back is sort of like building a project again, because it's one stone by one stone,
It's like
and
riding a bicycle.
it's one stone by one stone, and
I
it
guess
is.
I guess I'm a little older.
I got it back up, nothing flat. You know that, but I'm talking about somebody who doesn't quite got it yet, and doesn't have the rhythm of the routine.
Mhm.
Putting it back up's not a big deal, but when you're first doing this, it seems like, oh my gosh, I got to keep my mind on it and all this stuff. Put it up and leave it alone.
It'll
Mhm.
stay.
It'll stay. Yeah.
It stays. It's one of the weirdest things. It stays in place, and even the illusion of your armor keeps things away. They see, if it's conscious, they see it. They go, "Oh, can't go here," and go away. And
Yeah.
that's something. Even the illusion of armor says people stay away. Um, but it does take practice.
Yeah.
To be able to have it put up and stay up. It does take practice. It's
Well,
not.
I've seen people that have had their shields up well enough and good enough that things that meant to harm literally bounced off. And it's an interesting thing when that happens.
Mhm. Yeah, and there are actual spells that you can do for these things. Like I was
Oh, yeah.
telling somebody, go to Dollar Tree and get you a little makeup mirror and just keep it on you and say, this makeup mirror, do whatever you want to it. This makeup mirror reflects it. It is my shield.
Right.
Now, we have learned to do that on our own. We don't need the prop to do that.
No.
Like I wear a crystal. I don't need the crystal. It kind of just makes me feel better that knowing that it's there. But I know that it can't hurt. So
Can't hurt.
yeah, it can't hurt. So I keep it there. Like the little mirror. It can't hurt. Go ahead, Joe.
The prop helps dissipate the other person's unbelief.
Right. Right. It is a removal of
It hits
doubt.
it and bounces back to them.
Hmm. It helps the removal of doubt.
Okay, one,
Okay.
2, 3, what? You got to say it. You don't
Oh,
just say
come
what.
on.
This is
Do
your
what
deal. You do it.
do what you will, except
Harm none.
and harm none, except in self-defense at 3. Ever mind the rule of 3.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And that will keep you out of trouble and keep you up nights trying to figure it out.
Yeah, because do you eat a cow or not?
I'm sorry?
Do you eat a cow or not?
A cow?
Yeah.
Burger.
Steak.
I'm sorry. Say again?
Do you eat a cow,
I didn't.
a burger, or not?
No.
You don't eat a burger. You don't eat a steak?
I eat a burger. I eat steak.
Well, is that harming the cow? So we have to think
Yeah.
we have to come to balance with it.
Yes.
There is a
Well, that's
balance.
what I mean. It'll keep you up because that really encompasses what troubles your conscience or not.
Hmm.
That
Right, and
doesn't mean if it doesn't bother you, go out and shoot somebody. Don't do that
Right.
stuff.
Well, that takes me back to the tarot card reading of the Eight of Swords that I was the book meaning that I looked up was I was overthinking something. And I tend to do that anyway. I overthink stuff and I logic lock myself. So I need to stop that and just go with it. But
Okay.
that was just one part. Go ahead.
You have the picture of the 8 of Swords. Or can you mentally picture it?
I can mentally picture it.
Did you notice that at the front there is no sword.
Mm-hmm.
There's an opening. There is a gap. But you've got to get to the point where, you face some challenges, uh, and you have to realize there's an opportunity to find that choice and find stability. Trust your instincts
Mm-hmm.
and adapt while ensuring the content like your program remains high. You've got the potential to make this radio show even more successful by staying true to yourself and your unique vision and connecting with the audience.
Yeah.
And we're here to support you in every step of the way in any way we can. All you do is ask.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, I got to get my own show together. And I don't mean this one. I mean this one. But I've got projects in the works. So, everyone. And a new one comes up every now and then. And
A lot of times.
just so everyone here
Go ahead.
who didn't
fine.
see what
Go
I was
ahead.
talking about, I can present that picture. No, go ahead. I was just saying I'm going to show a picture.
Okay, well, Spike Ferry
I'll
asked,
take it
I
of that.
didn't think that swords were bad. Spike, every tarot card has good and bad to it.
Yeah.
And it was the combination of the two cards that made the Eight of Swords look even worse than what it would normally. And it's not a good card to begin with. The Seven of Swords we were talking about earlier. This is somebody who's being stabbed in the back by probably close friends or a group of close friends. That's not a good thing.
No.
So the Eight of Swords, the lady is bound, so she can't reach up and grab a mask that's over her eyes. And there is a circle of swords around her, except in the front, there's one missing sword. Her only chance is either to listen to whoever might be outside and trying to guide her, and perhaps they're bound themselves in some other way, or use her instincts and find her way out. So, yeah, you got liberator and oppressor. Well, in this case, with those swords around her, that's an oppressor around her.
Mm-hmm.
So, take a look at the picture.
Okay.
You'll see what I mean there, Spike Furry.
Okay. Well, that was not a very good share. It took to get the picture on the screen than it did to explain things. I'll go ahead and just stop that now,
Well,
and I won't do
that
it
gives
again
the
until I get a
audience a bit
hardwire
of a
connection.
a sign to see, because not everyone understands the tarot or even knows what it is. For the tool that it is, it's remarkable. It is everything from a prayer book to guidance if you need it, and self-improvement if you need that. It's very self-directed. But most people just look at it from the divination side, and that isn't the only side of it, not by a long shot.
Yeah. I was just holding them while I was walking around during a break, and one of the people said, "Oh, you need to get your gear." I'm like, "Huh? What?" And she just kind of introduced herself. Well, I had already been talking to her, but she pointed at the card, says, "You need to get your button gear. That's what that reading means." I'm like, is that how you interpret it? Okay. And Raven gave me an interpretation. Derek gave me this is on Facebook. Derek gave me an interpretation. 2 more interpretations here. That's okay. I read
And
and
I
I
gave you
Googled
one.
it. You gave me one. Joe gave me one. Joe gave me kind of a comprehensive one. And I read
didn't
it
see
on
Joe's.
Oh, well, let me get it. I'm not going to try to share the screen again. I'll just read what he said.
Yeah, because I didn't get to hear that, and I wondered what it was.
Okay. Let me grab it back up. I posted a whole bunch of stuff from the conference on here. Okay. Joe's interpretation was. Did you delete it?
Nope.
Somebody else.
Okay, here it is. Oh, no,
Okay.
it's hard to navigate to things like that. You need to challenge self-imposed limitations, but your current circumstances make you either unable to follow or unwilling to accept guidance. Inner and or financial turmoil keep you from successfully breaking free from your current restrictive mindset. Somehow you need to find that opening towards a more empowering way to address the issues, and it may either be blind luck or listening to your instincts to get yourself out. That was his interpretation.
And all of those were correct from what I saw. I think each person approaches that a tarot reading from their own experience and from their own interpretation of how these cards read, and an experience, big time experience. You know, that I know Joe's been reading for years upon years, and I have been too. But those cards say something different every single time, and every single person, every time. Never the same reading.
Sometimes you can be reading a card and you know what the card means, but all of a sudden some of the colors pop out at you. And you start reading what the meaning of the colors are rather than what the meaning of the card is.
That's something the lady brought up. Yeah, the lady that says, hey, that means this. She started talking to me about it because, conference. And she says, also pay attention to the color of the cards. I was like, okay.
And those colors and symbols and
numbers.
The choices and the numbers, those choices weren't made just by grabbing them out of the air.
No.
They were looked at and went, okay, what did this mean in the past? And what does it mean now? And,
Well, it is thought, and I may only be going back a certain length of time, that the Egyptians were the origin of tarot, but I strongly think it's more likely Sumerians.
I don't
maybe
know.
Even back to Atlantis.
Maybe Atlantis, but I think the Sumerians got skipped because it's a little hard to shuffle clay tablets.
Well, it doesn't necessarily go that way. Runestones are a good example. The Norse had runestones. The Norse are directly related to the Sumerian, right up the river. So it makes sense that they may actually have used those in one form or another. May not have been 72, but
they might have been using entrails and bones too.
That's always fun.
Yeah, especially when it's your enemies. Especially when it's your enemies. Oh, I see you have had a bad day.
No, we look at these tools and it's like, oh, it's brand new. I don't know if I can do that. Well, anybody can pull a card. Reading it might be the trick, but still, when you begin at a place that, we'll say, a book or a teacher who has a fairly decent amount of knowledge in it, we begin to do it on a fundamental way, and then suddenly we start seeing things, big things, whether it's the person's that we're reading for a life story sometimes, and how they got to the place where they're at. And that does happen. So, it's a 2-card reading. To be that profound, it's time to pay attention.
Get
Oh
out of your
yeah,
own way.
it was pretty on the mark for me in
Sure was.
in several ways. And I don't hide anything. Well, one thing. When the other side tells me,
What is it? Tell.
oh well, when the other side comes to me and says, "Don't talk about this," when the other side comes to me and says, "Don't talk about this,"
You
I
better
won't
be
talk about it.
talking.
Yeah. So
What side are we talking about? The dark side?
the spirit guide side. So
The guide says don't. The best idea is to button it up.
right. So I'm not. And but
You do
but
have
other
free
than
will.
that,
If you need to, if you think you can outrun your karma, don't
yeah,
listen.
this was not a karma situation. This was a black ops situation. So
Time to get out of the way.
yeah, I'm going to follow that instruction. But everything else I'm pretty open about. And the big computer still broken. I'm okay, big computer still broken. Second computer not turned on in over a year. It's brand new. And I let life kind of bulldoze me. I need to take charge again. And it's happening, right? It's happening. I have to get out of that mindset and back, like Joe said, find some kind of mindset to get this, to work my way through it, because I'm kind of stuck in a rut. Just a little bit. I
Well,
mean, it's a good rut, but it's not bad. It's not the worst rut ever.
that's why you haven't
Shadow
moved
is,
from it.
yeah, I agree. Shadow is coming on. It's not the worst rut ever.
That's why you
Really?
haven't moved.
Yeah. Echo.
Hi.
Let me adjust your
Sorry.
settings. Hey, Shadow.
No. It was my other device on.
Okay.
It wasn't a matter of anything
All right,
technical. I literally have my tablet right here.
All right. Well, you
Cool.
sound good.
Thank
Can
you.
everybody
You guys
else hear him
look
okay?
good. I sent you a private chat. I think.
On Facebook?
No,
On here?
Oh no, I didn't finish typing it.
Oh, okay.
Can I borrow a minute of your time, Nathan, to make
Sure.
a personal chat to Shadow there? Shadow, that Timu thing, Lynn Ann knows about it.
Oh yeah.
And
More than
yeah,
I should.
yeah. It's really weird. It's a gamble. You can get the product, and sometimes it's good, and sometimes it will do what it's supposed to, but just barely. The
And
quality,
sometimes it does spectacular.
yeah, sometimes it does spectacular. It's the Amazon of China.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And not
Um,
all of those dealers that deal with Timo are the same people, It it really does matter about which shop you're dealing with. So, and what it is you're after, if you go after a cheap electronic, you bought a cheap electronics, nothing, no doubt. I've noticed that printer cartridges are pretty good.
Yeah, I bought some printer cartridges off Amazon and I got royally screwed.
Mm.
I'll
Sorry
never
about
do that
that.
again. Yeah,
This is a kind of cheap electronics. This is it. I covered them there. My night vision camera binocular things. Cheap. It's cheap. It barely qualifies. But it works. And they look cool. Even though it's
Yeah.
a camera with a screen. It's not eyepieces back there. I can't do like that and know what the hell I'm looking at. But it works.
In Timu's defense, if you do get a lemon, they take it back on the spot cheerfully. They refund your money. I've gotten money back very quickly. So if you got trash, send it back. It's easy enough to do. Drop it
I'm not
at the
gonna be
UPS
doing
office and go.
not going to be doing a lot of shopping.
Yeah, but if you just get the app, you can go ahead and erase it after you get it. But if you can just get the app, it'll give me that extra point I need so I can get my free stuff.
Okay. That's more my style. Helping folks out like that, as opposed to spending money on crap. I already got a hobby and a half that sucks up every freaking spare penny.
Oh, you'd like some of the metal dragons, and they're inexpensive.
They're not terrible. It's cost it all.
Yeah, before you throw the app away, take a look real quick, like at the D&D stuff, and dice that would cost me $5 here in El Paso are $1.25 on there.
Yeah.
Right on. I'll take a look tomorrow. I've got
free shipping.
And you can put what you're looking for in their search bar. It'll tell you whether they got it or not. And they have whole sections that really they don't have advertising for, or even a section for. Put it in there if you need it, and see what they got and if it's reasonable cost. If you're going to buy from China anyway, you may as well get it at cost.
I hear that.
And that's not blood for Timu necessarily, but it's like you said, it's a gamble.
Yeah, buyer beware with Timu. I've heard, and it not going there. Buyer beware on Timu.
Yeah, I got a couple compasses that had so much static electricity, any direction you pointed them to was north. And I recognized the problem. So I took a little drop of water and wiped it off, and the static was gone and the compass worked.
Awesome.
And there you go.
So what I missed, guys? What I missed? I know I'm late, but
well, should we go back through that again?
You can just sum up.
Well, we can sum up. I went to a conference yesterday and today, Strange Realities. It was good. I went through the speakers. Everything is going to be in the description when I'm done. And the description does have the names of all the speakers that were there already right now. They're already in the description. And talked about, I get a little miniature tarot card reading done, which was pretty on point to be a one hitter, right? It was pretty on point.
2 cards.
And I was about to submit a question. My pen fell apart in my hand. So
I heard that.
That's the other side. Yeah, telling me, do not do this. This is not the way for you. So I was like, I get it. I do need a pen later. So don't break my other one, and I'll just leave it alone. So I just picked up the garbage of the pen. It's ruined now. Brand new pen. And just threw it in the floorboard of my car. And I've got another pen. But I was kind of hoping to like submit the question, but I had to leave. The other Xena knew I had to leave, so she stopped that from happening. It's like, oh, random number, boop, dead pin, can't write the question. And I wasn't going to press the issue. I get it. There were people talking about cryptids. He was talking about the Mothman phenomenon, not just Silver City Bridge, right?
Mhm.
And he was talking about how he thinks it's an animal or being that I didn't talk about it because I wasn't going to steal their show. Could they be extra dimensional? Yes, I agree with that. Very good show. Kiki Dombrowski was doing the tarot cards. Mallory was talking about how she got to this field and how the paranormal kept checking on her, and it did to me too. So I got to talk to her a little bit. I'm like, you're speaking my language, lady, you know? And I may get Mallory Sawinski on the show at some point. I am in touch with her. I am in contact with her, and also a chaos magician. You guys are going to love this one. Okay. This guy, he was talking about all the good ways to do magic, and it was very, oh man, he brought in geometry, he brought in sacred spaces, he brought in how to dress and how to clothe yourself and what's appropriate for this and that. And he also mentioned I came in late, right?
Sorry, guys.
Wow.
Oops.
I said hit the button fast
All clear.
enough.
He
There must be in a
also,
hurry wherever he's
I came in at the
What
halfway point of
what
the
is
show.
a chaos magician for those who don't know what it is?
A chaos magician is one that goes with whatever feels right to get the job done, doesn't follow a tradition, doesn't follow a standard set of rules. Like we've heard of them all, okay? Or we've heard of a bunch of them. You have the Wiccan way, okay? You have
Right.
the Sumerian way. Now they have traditions and methods of doing things. He was doing things like go to the church to get your holy water if you feel you need holy water and you want it to be official holy water. Then he eventually did say you can make your own holy water. Don't worry
Oh,
about
yeah.
it. Just believe in
I was
yourself
gonna
and make
say.
it.
I'm not comfortable with
But he was
that.
talking.
It sounds incredibly dangerous, opportunistic, and you know, from the gamer side of things, chaos has a whole lot of connotations that you know I should try to blank out right now, but kind of hard. But yeah, I don't know, man. It sounds a little fishy.
Okay, it sounds fishy until here's how he rounded out his talk, right? Now he was talking about doing all these things, yanking from all the traditions as you need to, but he was also talking about, let me get it. I'll get his name right now. He's
It also sounds like a great way to piss off like everybody. You know what I mean?
well, it would be if everybody involved was interested in gatekeeping their traditions. You know what I mean?
No,
The way he
probably not.
rounded it out to make it sound good was I want, now his words, I want to bring more people into this so we can get more people working to the right goals. Don't ask for money, go to try to help people and teach people how to do the right things. And I was like, oh, yep, you're quantum,
Runs
now you're talking
according
my
to his own morality.
right.
That's
And
what it amounts to. He
we
doesn't
sounds
ask
the
somebody
Black
else to do
Lodge.
his morality for him.
Right. He was talking about the Black Lodge. What's his name?
Yeah, a little too convenient,
Ring
Jessica. Because I mean that it sounds like a great way for the darker sides to sneak in without you knowing. You know what I mean?
Without you knowing.
Well, I mean, if you're new
Okay.
to all this, you know what I
It
mean, a little naive.
sounds
You
like
know
they're
what
putting an
you're doing.
invite out.
That too, yeah. But I mean, think about like the really new person to this. Someone under, let's just say, go with 25 years old, couldn't possibly have studied enough, and next thing they know, they're doing crap that it's working, so I'm going to keep doing it, but not realizing who's backing them.
Well, this falls under paying more and more and more to the dealer to get
Yeah, I'm not a
fewer and
gambler.
fewer
Despite
results.
the way I look, I don't gamble.
That's how I see it. No, not gambling. It's almost like an addict getting his fix. He gets his happy fix at first, and it's easy. And then it takes more and more and more money, more and more time, more and more resources to get the same results.
Yeah, but
Now you're
what
in
Shadow was talking about sounded more like what they do at the carnivals. You get up there and they hand you a gun and you start firing away at the targets and you get a few of them, and your gun suddenly needs more ammunition. You pick it back up again and it's not shooting the same place it was because now the ammo is a little strange. The BBs are cut off on one side or something. I know exactly what Shadow is talking about. I've seen it happen.
Sure, I do too.
Right. I am not describing this very well. His presentation was much more in depth than what I'm saying. It does qualify as chaos magic, though.
Sorry?
And yeah.
No, chaos magic reminds me of Cthulhu.
Say again?
Matthew Collier. Matt Collier.
The name sounds
okay.
That sounds
familiar. I can't place it.
Yeah, you know what? If I didn't know any better, I would say that's actually a D&D YouTuber. Believe it or not.
Yeah, reminds me too much of Cthulhu and Lovecraft and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He touched on
that's
that.
why I said the gaming aspect. Not just Dungeons and Dragons, but there's other companies that use law and chaos as factions, and you pick a side, even if you don't, the old even if you choose not to decide, you've still made a choice.
Colville. Okay, the YouTuber is Colville.
Yeah, I know of him as well, but there's another one out there, not as big as Colville, but I think there's another one. But I could be way off.
And we also got into aligning one's personal frequencies to be effective and balanced with what we need to do for the daily thing, rather than reaching for the moon. No, reaching for the moon. Reaching beyond our needs.
Clap your hands. You reach for me.
Want to bet? Never mind.
You.
So many people are interested in self-improvement and personal development. This concept, we could talk about this for a long time.
Right.
And various angles.
And he was he was this Ren person. He was talking about self-improvement aspect of it. He was not talking about taking what you need for self-gain. He was going to the healing aspect of it. Help other people do better. We need to fight. We need workers against the Black Lodge. That rung a bell. I'm not really familiar with the Black Lodge, but it's the dark side. I don't go there. Yeah, it's the left-hand path people, and I don't go there. I know that we have to have a balance, but they depend on it. It's like the Jedi and the Sith, in Muggle speak, But that's what he was talking about.
But remember that there's a price to pay for everything.
Right. And he was
the
all
Black
about
Lodge.
Forward.
The Black Lodge, that goes all the way back, I think, into the 20s.
Mm-hmm. It does. He touched on that
Crowley.
too.
Aleister Crowley wrote wrote the novel The Black Lodge.
Right. It's been an hour. I'll be right back. Watch for ghosts.
Sorry, I'm too busy watching the gremlin in the corner.
Oh, we're unsupervised. Yeah, there's that gremlin again. I swear that's what it's see.
Freaking hysterical.
I don't know what the green thing is up front now. Looks like a skirt.
I don't think we're not going to go there. Get a rumor started. Oh my! You know, the whole dark part of life, and of course, there's like we were saying, a balance. That's their business. The light's our business. There's the balance.
Yeah, but the dark loves to deceive.
It does. It doesn't last long, though.
Well, these days I'd beg to differ. I see it everywhere, and it's getting stronger by the second.
When you're looking for it, you need to start looking for light.
Well,
I know where to find the light. It's just things have been just speeding up at a phenomenal rate, and none of it's going in the right direction.
140,000 houses in northeast El Paso, which included Fort Bliss, were without web service today.
And
yeah, they're already talking about the draft. For what? For what? For stuff that nobody here wants us in except the big companies. You know which companies I'm talking about. Nobody wants this crap. All that money they're spending, and yet they can't help the vets. They can't help the homeless. They can't, shore up the borders. They can't.
Talking about cutting it some more, just so they can put money towards their little projects.
And I figured it out. Every time they send $1 billion, I guarantee every congressman's getting $1 million.
Oh yeah, easily. Congressman, anybody else in government, Supreme Court, right there, the rest of it.
The Supreme Court ain't getting squat because they're voting against them. But between the Senate and the House, they could easily siphon off $1 million per, and that would still leave $400 or $500 million for every billion we send. And they'd be happy to work with us. Oh, you're going to say we're going to give you $1 billion, but we're only going to receive $400 or $500 million. That's fine. We'll cover up your money laundering for you. No problem.
What did I walk into here?
Politics.
Well, you left us alone. You should know better, man.
So no ghost activity this time, right?
No, we scared them. We did talk about. We had a ghost here in El Paso, supposedly. 140,000 people were without internet service, which included all of Fort Bliss.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And they just said, we have a fiber optic problem we have to repair.
Yeah. At the same time, the FBI is warning us there are cities that are being targeted now by Palestinian refugees that are here already.
Where they
they got to do something with those suitcases they brought over. Just saying, hey guys, I had a completely humorous and potentially fun idea. The gremlin that's behind Nathan needs a name.
But he's not real.
Yes, he is.
We all see him. He needs a name.
Pile of junk.
I know, Jessica. It's not only crazy; it's literally insane. But he needs a freaking name.
I would like for someone. I don't see this like you guys see it. So will someone
go back to some of your videos, and he'll be right there looking at you.
Make a
okay. Look.
Picture. Draw a
picture. All you gotta do is go when the show's over.
Make sure the picture is small enough.
Watch your own show, If I could find some way to draw over it, I would like. Here's his sunglasses. Here's his ears. Here's his nose.
He's got a white collar on.
Yep.
You got a big long green nose,
He's quite
sunglasses
official.
with two like little, when you're wearing sunglasses, and you can
And
see
you have
like
a
a
dress.
light reflected.
You have a dress behind you. It looks greenish in the picture.
This side, this side.
No, right
This side?
above your head.
Right.
You're right or mine?
Yeah, it's like a green cloak or something. I don't know what's hanging on your. Yeah, whatever
Might
that
be
is.
a backpack. Is that
A little
It's
green
my
or black?
towel. It's my
Oh.
towel.
Oh, you make it sound like me. You've got two towels. One's wet and one's dry always. And when the other one dries out, you use it.
Well, pretty
I
much.
thought it was
Furby?
I only have the one towel.
You only have the one towel. We
furry
know what to
without
get you
a
for Christmas
fur.
now. We know what to get you for Christmas.
You need a gremlin in that crate.
Oh,
What do you get a
She
Wookiee
meant
for Christmas?
Furby.
We'll call
She
him
meant
Spike.
Furby. That was hilarious. I love the typos. Okay, the typos are perfect. Destic, perfect. That was perfect.
Fur baby or fur
But she
Furby.
meant
Furby.
she
There we
meant Furby. Okay, perfect. I love the typos. The typos say it all. Oh, let me wind it back a little bit. He also talked a lot about Ren, the chaos magic guy. Ritual cleansing. It doesn't have to be fancy, but ritual cleansing, dressing with respect, and being respectful of the people around you. He was very big on that. That was a big part of it, and I wanted to make sure I did not leave that out because I invited him to watch the show. I sent him a link in email, so I think I did. I'm probably going to send in another link just in case, but I wanted to make sure to include that he's not preaching take, don't give. He's all about take because you can give, and it tends to. It's coming to my head right now. It tends to multiply.
attitude's very
when you
different.
give. What?
His attitude's a lot more different than a chaos magician, from what I hear.
Yeah. Well, he didn't call it chaos magic. He just called it magic. And I interpreted it, that's disclaimer. I interpreted it as chaos magic because he was taking from a bunch of different sources instead of sticking with one rule book, so to speak.
Okay, so is it just an esoteric magician?
Yes. Yes.
That's a whole different.
And he
fella.
does not have.
Thing. That's a whole different thing. Than
Okay.
a chaos magician.
That was. Ren, don't be mad. I came in partway through your show. Okay, don't be mad at me. But he was a really cool guy. He was the only one to talk to me about AI and not be utterly petrified by it. I brought up because last year they talked about AI, and I wasn't. Now I was doing this show, but I hadn't figured out my format yet, so it was still kind of forming. So I didn't try to talk to somebody then, and we talked about AI, and he agrees that while there is always a danger for everything, I mean, come on, everything we do can kill us. Just pick something fun, right?
Yeah.
But everything we do, everything we do, driving, death, using a cell phone, death, going to the grocery store, death, airplanes, death.
That's why you
Okay,
shield,
so
shield,
pick something
shield.
fun and be moderate. Be moderate about yourself. Sorry.
Hey, what's up,
that-
Mike?
That last.
Long time no see, buddy.
Hey,
Welcome
Mike.
to the show. Mike's a friend of mine, and believe it or not, he's the only fellow YouTuber to have ever actually met me in person. He and his wife are absolutely wonderful, wonderful people, and they need to hurry up and make their own channel. Yeah, I'm gonna keep bugging you, man, until you let me know so I can be your first subscriber and then shout you out in your channel, because he and his wife are just two peas in a pod, one of the loveliest couples I've met in a good long time.
Nice. Glad to see you,
Well,
Mike.
welcome to the Quantum Show, Mike. Like and subscribe. You're here because we know you're quantum, even though
I
you may
would
not.
like to see the
not know it.
intersection of AI and spirituality and personal improvement domain. It's the synthesis of modern technology advances and ancient wisdom. I mean,
Yeah,
what
you know what,
couldn't
Joe? I find that as either an impossibility or the most terrifying thing I've ever heard.
I think it's great. I think the integration of artificial intelligence with spirituality can come up with innovative tools and approaches and very much
I just
individualize.
I wonder if an AI could actually accept it or believe it without, because it's going to go through the entirety of all of the internet and weigh every single facet and every single factoid and decide that one side is real or one side is not without any proof. And whichever choice it makes could very well be the wrong way of looking at it.
Well, I think I see it more of like to help with daily personal insights, with utilizing various spirituality practices that exist on almost every faith, with meditation and mindfulness. AI, you could have AI powered apps that would give guided meditation tailored to the individual's needs, preferences, and their own progress.
But unfortunately, there's a huge number of people that could very well end up being a majority that will denounce and literally flat out lie about everything you just said, just to make it not balance out in the other side's favor. You know what I mean?
That has
You know what?
literally
It would be
happened
their loss.
already.
No, I get that, but when I go
It could be
on places like
everybody's loss.
Wikipedia and I find out who's actually in charge of Wikipedia, and I'm looking on there and seeing things that I know to be absolutely false, but I mean I know for a fact I was there or I've experienced or whatever.
Right.
And
I
you've got
understand
people who do that all day long. That's their job. That's their goal in life, is to change facts into their own narrative. At some point, you could have the AI side against the very people you're hoping to help.
Or AI decide the Earth is flat.
Yeah, there you go. That's a perfect, ridiculous example. If enough people decided the world's flat, AI would go with them because it doesn't have the ability to look, see, and move beyond, its confines.
Doesn't have
I
any.
don't know. AI already has pattern recognition,
Mhm.
so it could take the shots from orbit and look at them and say, no, that doesn't fit with pattern recognition.
Well, that's
of a flat surface."
a humorous example. I'm talking about some other, more mundane and easier to fake examples. Something that's that big. Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, but you brought up the flat Earth.
I didn't blame her. She did it.
I did.
Oh,
It's
you
my
did.
fault for change.
All right. Well,
No, it was a good example of something ridiculous. But there are less, smaller things like stuff I can't even talk about on the internet without getting people in trouble. I'm sure you guys can pick one of those topics and go, yeah, we know this to be true, but there are a whole bunch of people and more people who even know it's true, but are too terrified to say that it's not true. And eventually you get, 51% of the planet saying this thing that's not true is true because we're all terrified about speaking the truth. And then suddenly the AI thinks it's true. And then when it looks at people, it's like, bam, and its head explodes.
Yeah, well, it's critical to maintain the human touch and to preserve the essence of spirituality, ensuring that technology complements and enriches rather
It
than
absolutely
replaces.
should, but I don't see it happening. And not just
Okay.
because
I
I haven't
do.
seen any examples, but I see people with really big, bank accounts not wanting that to ever happen for various reasons.
I refer back to my show, Golems, Tulpas, and AI. He liked that title too, dude. I was the Collier guy. I liked that title. I thought the title was awesome, and we dug into that one. It's an old show. I should probably revisit that topic because
Well, I should
apparently
probably put a link
we
to
got a
it.
lot to talk about. Huh? Yeah. Yeah,
You
know
should
what? That's a
refer
good
to a
idea.
link. Yeah.
Let me do that.
That yeah,
Let me do that.
I think that the whole process with the machine at this point, though, individuals have experience. What is experience? The having been there, having felt the feelings, having felt and participated in the action, and determined from a human point of view. And a machine can't do that.
Well, not yet, not yet. But you give Elon enough brain, donated brain cells, he'll find a way to merge the two, and then we could be looking at a whole different,
Well,
set
he
of.
probably
Yeah.
stick it in his own head or somewhere else.
He has.
Yeah, talk about insane. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not sharing my thoughts with anybody. Maybe a couple of select
I
few
don't want-
people. But I got crap that I don't want people knowing. There's some
I have
embarrassing shit.
hands that share my opinion quite readily.
Okay, maybe not opinion, because you guys all know how opinionated I am. My innermost darkest, weird ass thoughts that I just had that I had no control over, and suddenly I'm being convicted in court because I had this weird, notion once upon a time. Yeah, I don't want. I don't
That's
want people to know.
ridiculous.
It's going to happen if we're
It
all
is
plugged in. If we're all going to be plugged in, we're all going to share everybody else's thoughts, and then suddenly we'll all be the same creature, not a bunch of individuals. And I like my individuality. I also like my damn privacy.
What little bit there's left of it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm not getting wired in. I thought about it. I'm not doing it. Wow,
Yeah, do you
it
remember
went
that? I
way
think it was
back.
Tales from the Dark Side. Do you remember that episode, Nathan, where that one kid he couldn't be plugged in because he was like, like mentally deficient somehow. He couldn't be plugged in, and everybody else was plugged in, and they could access any piece of information like super fast, and he'd have to like actually read books, So he was actually really smart, but compared to them, he was an idiot, and they treated him like one. And then one day the system went down, and they were all suddenly without access, and they were basically, kind of, invalids without, being able to, actually have knowledge in their own brain. And he had to like reteach humanity.
I don't
No,
remember
yeah.
that one. It's been
Actually,
so
I
long
do.
though.
I do remember that.
I want to be that guy.
Very
Just when they say help, I'm going to be like, sorry. The algorithm doesn't know what that means yet, so.
Yeah, we'll see. That's what I meant by I have two hands that show my opinion quite readily. So.
And if worse comes to worse, we'll have to come up with a new one. Like. Oh wait, that's an old one.
We already have one. We have the unsubscribe finger. Remember that one? We have the finger.
Yeah, we need to behave.
The finger of doom. Yeah, my dog knows the finger of doom all too well. I can just point my finger at my dog, and he's just like, "Oh."
Oh God. Or smack the magazine. Man, they're dying over that.
Well, all I ever do is just like poke him, playfully, and he's just like, I don't know where he is now, but he was being absolutely adorable earlier.
Smack the battery assist handle.
Battery?
Yes.
What?
When you battery assist handle. Nathan knows what I'm talking about. Little
2
black
inches
handle.
of standing water in the bathroom. Oh, what the cat get into now?
The battery assist handle is on the side of the M16. If you start to fire your weapon and gotten in the water or something like that, and the round didn't
the
quite
forward
go,
assist.
it's also called the battery assist.
Okay.
You slap it.
Right.
You slap it to make sure the round
And
gets into battery.
Gets,
Yeah, well,
right. You cross your fingers.
if you do that, you might break them.
Not while you're doing it, I think.
No, you go slap up on the magazine, pull the charging handle, observe, release the charging handle, tap on the forward assist. Is what it's called. Sports is what they called it to us.
Okay.
Okay. Oh boy.
We just slapped the hell out of it.
She always manages to do this stuff. I don't know how.
Good
she
vibes
does
to
that.
Raven.
Yeah, really.
Good
Let's
vibes
get
to
that
Raven.
At least it's not
That's not
running
okay.
water.
Yeah, Raven, that's not good. Whatever you do, stay away from
Got this,
electricity.
girl.
while you're at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't pick
I'm
up
a
the hair
big
dryer.
fan. Yeah, I'm a big fan of having plugs mounted in a wall 4 feet up. Very big fan
At
of that.
least.
Seems to be
At
nobody
least.
wants to do that. Have it 4 feet off the ground. That way, they're at hand, they're easy to get to, and little ones can't easily stick a fork in it.
It seems to me
Because-
that Europeans have been doing that for some time.
I don't
think
know
I
why they
read
don't do
that.
it here.
And
I don't know why they don't do it here. Have it
You
4
know-
feet off the ground on the wall.
it
4 feet.
takes a different thought, and some of them aren't capable of that.
And the European, some of their, not all European countries, but some of the European countries have plugs that automatically shutter themselves, so that you can't stick something in there.
Right. Yeah, the Europeans have very safe electricity over there. If you look
Yeah.
at an England
Yeah.
plug, you have plastic leads with metal tips, where unlike ours, where it's metal all the way from the base of the plug to the end of the
Yeah,
prong.
but they also have 220 volt electricity.
Yeah.
So if you
That's-
mess up, it's hey howdy and goodbye.
Ours, we go, oh hell, that hurt. As long as
Oh,
we're not
boy,
standing in
curls
the
your
water or
hair.
something. Yeah,
Well,
straightens it sometimes.
this frizzy hair didn't get that way by itself. Yeah.
440,
Oh man.
440 hertz at 80
Mhm.
amps. That hurts.
Yeah.
I can swear by
And
Well, that
Going
floor ought
back-
to be clean as a whistle. That's all I know.
Mhm.
Get the shop vac, girlie.
but going back to the conference was the other person that I got to talk to was Nathan Isaac. I gave him some feedback in my earlier solo, right? Nate, he was talking about cattle mutilations in the 70s. Now there is some
Mhm.
weirdness going on, but we just don't know how or what. And he was
we don't know how much.
he took the weirdness all out of it by looking at surrounding events. It was very good. His delivery last year was uncomfortable. He seemed to be uncomfortable, but he did so much better this year. Nathan Isaac, Penny Royal Podcast. I think I actually put it in the description tonight. I can't even look at the description right now. That's okay.
Well,
It'll
this
be up there.
sort of endeavor gets better as you go along. Everybody's
Mhm.
new ones.
Yeah, he's on season 3 of his podcast. And I highly recommend the Penny Royal Podcast. It's very good. He's a deep diver.
Why did he separate it just until the 70s?
Because he wanted to have a focused area to look at, just the 70s, just that time. Not before or after, but just that, like a controlled environment to work in. Very scientifically minded. That's a very good way. Pick a spot and stay there. And he did. And he does it. He's very
Investigative work should
enthusiastic.
be like that.
Right. And that's exactly what he was doing. He was investigating and he was deep diving. Way deep diving.
The reason why I asked is because I do have friends in the cattle industry, and this last April was really bad about it.
Well,
there were lots of
I've seen it, and I read that some of those mutilations were by out of towners, and I don't say what direction, had gotten hungry and killed a cow and basically didn't have first clue how to butcher it or anything else.
Okay, the ones I'm talking about, like the ones that happened this last year, you would have had a laser, and you would have had to have been hanging from the top of a helicopter. I mean, the bottom of a helicopter to do these, because the cuts were very, very precise, very clean.
You know what
and
I
damn
heard?
good shot in the top of it.
Right. In the more recent ones, not April, but from the past, say, 10 years, right? I heard someone discuss it. He was spot on. If you get a blast of heat that is so hot, like 1,500 degrees or something, what's going to happen? Moisture immediately boils away. Soft tissue immediately cooks away. The tougher tissues remain, and things like hair, if there is not enough time, it won't singe. And the cuts, as they dehydrate, the precise cuts, take an eye socket, okay, as an example. And some of them only had from one side, or from the front, or from the rear. It was almost like it was directional, that they were exposed to this heat source or a plasma of some kind from one direction, left, right, forward, back, top. And I heard someone talk about this. I need to quote these people, but I don't remember who it was. He was quoting Linda Moulton Howe, and he was looking at her work through a different lens. Like, what if this was some sort of turbojet that we are using, or it could be something they're using, off-worlders. Could be.
Or it could be a secret weapon of some sort that they're testing.
Right. It could be some kind of vibrational. It could be HARP. But to take the weirdness out, go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
I have friends in Madisonville, Texas, and they were telling me that the remains of one of their 6-year-old longhorn cross cows had a straight cut with apparent precision that had been made, and it removed the hide from around its mouth, and as you said, one side. It the meat underneath the hide was untouched, and the tongue was gone, but no blood was spilt.
Right.
Now, how do you leave the meat there, which would be soft tissue, and just take the tongue? That had to be something precise.
You are correct. It had to be something precise. And if the heat was to dissipate immediately, if it was a flash, but not a burn, but it's just a flash of that kind of heat, that kind of thing can happen. Can it not? If it was there for a fraction of a second and then gone, the outermost, most exposed parts would be affected, but not the inner parts on
Okay,
one
but
side.
the meat
It's just
is right underneath the hide, and the tongue is inside the mouth.
right. The skin around the mouth, right? Now I'm relaying. I am not deducing or coming to any kind of conclusion here. I'm reporting what was told, what I heard this person talk about. The hide around the mouth right here is gone. It exposes the tongue, which is soft tissue, but this is well, not me, but on a cow, right? This is softer because it's meant to be more pliable than this. It's not supposed to be. This is actually protective on most mammals. When you get to the areas like, if you look at your stomach, it's protective. Rib cage, protective. The skin up here is protective. This is meant to be very pliable. The skin on our hands, the back of our hands, very pliable. The front of our hands, depending on the kind of work you do, protective because calluses. Okay. Elbows, all right, meant to be very pliable, and it is. Up here, protective. I have gotten cuts. It was nasty, right? Where my forearm got cut open. The skin, I swear, was almost a half-inch thick. That's protective. Up here near the wrist, where it's meant to be pliable, is very thin, nowhere near a half an inch, an 18th
Right.
of an inch.
Like tissue paper up in there.
Right. Meant to be pliable. Lips, very thin. Cheeks,
Yeah.
a little bit thicker, but still thin.
Yeah, but how do you explain with your thickness and thinness that they took out the entrails?
That's another good question.
Without blood spilling.
Without blood spilling.
I don't know. Very
That's not
good question.
possible, and not in the field in particular.
It is
Well,
definitely
it's possible if it doesn't actually happen where you find it. You know, if the creature is moved and operated, then anything goes, and then put back, then
drop back
right.
because there's no evidence
There's
of
no
anybody
trails.
going to it.
Is the bones broken? Do we
Nope.
know that? No broken bones, not dropped.
Well, it depends on height.
Yeah. It just and to what end? Why?
right. It is a mystery. I have no answers. I'm just saying it's out there to be solved.
Well, the sheriff said that he thought that Satanists came in and grabbed the animals and took them up and did their thing to them and then dropped them back down.
Satanists with helicopters or some flying machine?
Yep.
Yeah.
Gosh, that only sounds like one group of people I know.
That sounds like what people you know?
Just one group of people. I don't know too many Satanists that own, that kind of hardware.
No.
The normal type. I mean, they always go to that route. Yeah. I mean,
it doesn't matter what happens. It's really odd out in that area. It's got to be Satanists or some other party that they can blame. There's no real thought process to it.
And the argument
the UFOs aren't there. That can't happen.
Yeah, the argument is ridiculous because if Satanists need to go with cows as opposed to the traditional anything else like
Goats.
something easy. Yeah.
Goats. Their choice would be goats. It wouldn't
Why
be
why go
cattle.
why go with one of the biggest, land mammals in North America? You know what I mean? When they could just go with, going to any pet store and just walking in and going, yeah, I need this or that, and walk out with no
Yeah.
trouble, as opposed to let's go sneak onto somebody's land, and try not to get caught and or shot, or photographed. It's
And
ridiculous.
a 6-year-old longhorn cross.
We got an echo, and it's a beaut. Where did that start?
It's Raven.
That started when Raven came in.
Raven, you're echoing.
Oh,
I'm echoing.
yeah.
A 6-year-old longhorn cross. The longhorns are not known for being friendly.
No, they're mean. They're a mean cow. You don't want to
Yeah,
mess.
and to get near something like that, you need like a tranquilizer or something like that, which is going to remain in the system unless the Satanists have come up with some brand new tranquilizer. And if that was the case, why would they go with freaking cows when they would, probably be happier with freaking people? Sorry to say it, but as opposed to go after a cow. A cow
People,
is
right.
one thing in this
Now,
country.
and we're making a big mistake here. There is as many different kinds of Satanists as there are Christians
Oh yeah.
or Wicca or Muslim for that matter. So, to throw them all in one group, we wouldn't want it done to ourselves. Let's don't do it to them.
Nah, I have no sympathy for them.
I think a show just went out.
We're forgetting the main thing is the choice target, that being a cow. It normally only serves one or two purposes here in this country. That's food or, potentially leather, but that's less and less a thing. So you got to wonder, okay, if they're going after a food source, why? What do they want to know about a food source?
Why just a tongue?
No, they took the reproductive organs.
Oh, they
The
took all
anus.
the entrails.
In the entrails
Mm-hmm.
and the tongue, and for some reason had to open a flap on their mouth.
To me, it sounds like more like a very hush hush.
Government.
Well, no. The experiment, because that's what I think it is some sort of experiment. Is focusing on, what cows eat and how they process their food and how they make more cows. It's something completely different, than just, them. There's so many other things that could be done and so many other animals to experiment with, but they're going with the largest provider of meat, per animal. And they're not even taking, what's normally the edible parts of the animal. They're taking the stuff that, only goes into sausage for the most part. And to me, it sounds like they're trying to figure out or mess with, our ability to have that particular source of meat. It wouldn't surprise me if it was, some sort of, PETA or vegan kind of thing going on to try to, find a way to make cows less appetizing or less appealing or even viable for us as a food source. If they were able to, find a way to mess with cows and make it so we can't eat them anymore.
I don't know a multi-billionaire that would be behind that.
Well, in the past, there have been some pretty powerful vegetarians out there. And, I don't know the eating and dietary habits of some of the big people out there, but it wouldn't surprise me if they would like to make it
Veggie burgers.
Make it so that we can't have cows.
I'd be more inclined to think it would be to make the plant-based
veggie burgers.
Veggie burger. Anyway, to make them be the main source of nutrition and do away with a whole industry, that would not surprise me. And it goes right back to the number one cause of problems.
I'm
Greed.
sorry to have taken us this way, Nathan, but you mentioned something that was. Where'd he go?
I think he left. I'll be darned. He
We know,
left.
Todd. We know, Todd.
Man, it's bad when the show host says, "Screw this, I'm out of here. I'm going to get coffee."
Can't rightly blame him.
No,
But,
not really.
When you have friends that are in the industry and
Yeah.
somebody mentions something like this and says, "Oh, it's 1970s," and I'm going, "Oh no."
Oh, it's been going on, and but like I said before, when putting this sort of thing into a block and researching that.
No, your
this is
pancakes are
only-
next. Your pancakes are next,
Yeah.
especially if it's got butter on it.
You say Soylent Green. Anyway,
Poor Edgar.
we're just giving him the jazz here tonight.
Everybody, yeah. You know what? You can have the pancakes. I'm all for the French toast and waffles.
I want the
Sorry,
bacon.
man.
You were going to give it up.
I haven't had a good French toast in years.
I can't eat French toast. Oh well.
Is there an echo now?
No, it's still going on, honey.
I had myself muted. Did it clear up at all at any point?
Yeah, when you muted.
When you muted.
Oh,
Sorry.
shit. All right, I'm going to sign out and sign back in then.
Yeah. Do you have any other devices on?
My laptop, but it's muted.
Huh.
Do you? Okay, you're not watching
all right.
Facebook on the same one you're
I'm
trying to get
watching
on
the
here
chat
with?
room on the laptop, and then I'm connected to you on my phone.
Hmm.
Should be
Yeah,
Yeah,
happening
it's
then.
just warbling.
Okay. All right, I'm going to sign out, sign back in then.
Okay.
All right, I'll pop you in.
I'm sorry about taking this over, but as I said, I've got friends in the industry, so I've also got a friend in the industry of goats. So
Right. And he got robbed.
yeah, but he doesn't get
long
robbed
ago.
now. Yeah,
He's got a couple of dogs, so stop putting an end to that nonsense.
yeah. Well, they don't know how friendly they are.
Well, you never know. My two cowards, my dogs, are perfectly docile. They know you. Perfectly good to be around.
Yeah, I just walk through the house.
The walk through at 1 o'clock in the morning, and there are a couple of different dogs, and you not be part of the household.
Well,
Mm-mm,
they think I'm part of the household. They go,
Well,
"Oh, it's
they
you."
know. They know. They know who belongs.
Yeah.
I bet your pup's the same way, Shadow.
How so?
Well,
If
he
your
knows
dog
who
knows somebody,
belongs.
Yeah, he's a good dog, but he's
Nathan.
he's got his own little
Yes.
issues.
Nathan, I want to apologize for
happened?
that because I took over your show there with the cattle mutilations because
Yeah.
I have friends in the industry. Okay, so
Hey,
Raven
that's
popped out
okay.
and is going to come back.
okay.
Okay. So I guess while I was gone, there was no ghost activity, right?
No.
No.
That anybody
No,
could
but
see?
your gremlins got shiny eyes now.
Yeah.
No kidding. I don't know what light you changed or whatever, but the eyes are a lot shinier now.
Should mine get
Draw
real
me a
shiny
picture.
too. This reflection of this computer just absolutely plays merry hell with my eyes.
But no, it's no
Anyway.
problem that you took over with the cattle. Yeah, mutilation thing. That's what we do. We go down the topic, and it's fine.
Dive
Um,
down the rabbit hole.
That was
huh?
his. Yep, that was Nathan Isaac's thing tonight and he did it well. He nailed it. And I'm looking for, of course I didn't.
Well, if you start researching and don't have parameters set, you can find yourself going in all sorts of directions that you didn't anticipate or want. So you gotta set what exactly your goals are and everything else when you do research. Otherwise, you're gonna end up with a merry mess on your hands.
Yeah, you end up with the quantum show.
So you went out and got coffee. And I don't blame
you. Yeah, and I think we covered everyone that I talked to and watched yesterday and today. The one person I haven't really covered too much was, well, two people, were the biblical scholar and Tim Banal from Coast to Coast. Tim Banal is the person, he's the news coordinator for Coast to Coast. I think that's what he said.
Now I see some lady with a newspaper and a cigarette in her mouth looking over their newspaper. That's what I see. Isn't that what you see?
No, I still see the gremlin with bright eyes.
Now I see the gremlin. The further back you get, then you see a gremlin just exactly. So when he put it up close, it looked like somebody with a newspaper with a cigarette in their mouth and sunglasses. So go figure. Yeah, I got a really active imagination. I got to do something with
that. I don't know. There's a cannon right there with a white cannon.
Couldn't prove it by me. Of course, that might have been a cigarette. I don't know.
Love it, y'all. Love it. Oh man. Well, I hope they watch this show.
On YouTube with that.
Yeah, I guess it's my claim to fame. The gremlin with a t-shirt cannon.
Yeah.
There we go.
Looks like gremlin with the bow tie from here.
And a cannon.
And a t-shirt cannon.
Makes sense. That's how that movie went, I think.
Yeah.
Not sure, Edgar. Well, I don't think you got any waffles.
No waffles this time. I don't keep them in stock like I keep everything else.
These are making me hungry.
Sugar and coffee? Oh, I don't think so.
Ding, ding, ding. Isabella.
Sugar in the coffee?
Yeah, well, she doesn't need either, but she can do it.
She can do what?
She can imitate somebody having sugar and coffee. You've seen her before.
Oh, yeah. Make a hole in my bed. Just running mad in the middle of my bed. Decided that it was time to have the zoomies in my bedroom. Just took off in there. She's a character. She's a nut, all right.
And well, I want to Mallory Sawinski was very great to listen to. She was I dare say she was a joy to listen to, right? And she was saying, don't worry about the people's opinions. You as weird as it is. And I love that message. And when I can find, I've got her on Instagram. That's her main platform. So I will hopefully be leaving a link if I can remember to do it. I got to go to bed because I was up earlier today than normal, and I'm really getting tired. The coffee is keeping me going. And let me see here.
That's a coat, Diane. That's right behind him.
Yeah. I got a jacket
and a towel.
My backpack. and a blue towel. Don't forget your towel. What's that from? Don't forget your towel. Shadow,
Hitchhiker's
you
Guide
should
to
get this
Fancy.
one.
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Damn right.
There you go.
Damn
you
right.
win.
Damn right.
And make
Every
sure
time I
that
hear
you
about a
put it
towel, I
on.
think of
That
that.
way they don't see you.
Hi, Diane.
You can't see
Yeah.
them. They can't see you.
Yeah, even I'm starting to wind down. You know,
We haven't had our recipe section yet.
not yet, but we still got at least 10 minutes going. You know, we're
Well,
already
we're already into cattle.
Yeah,
right.
hey,
I had a
tonight.
I had a nice steak today.
All right.
I
Wife
had a
took me out.
cheeseburger.
Well,
I
talking
did
about
have a
the
cheeseburger
wife.
today.
Talking about the wife. Guess what?
It's a magic moment.
Are you being
She didn't
summoned?
send the dog. She didn't send the dog. That's amazing.
Oh, did she? Was it?
Shame
Did she
herself,
come
huh?
herself?
Yeah.
Wow.
Must be important.
She didn't come in here. I don't know what's going on. I thought I had a half hour.
Hmm. Are you being summoned?
No, she's just in the other room with her radio up as loud as she can get it.
Well, you have a good mic because we're not hearing any of it. So you just
Mm-mm.
Thank you,
hold
Nathan.
your on.
Thank you, Nathan. The black one didn't seem to work out so well, but the white one seems to be just fine.
Well, I wanted to make sure, you know, it's Amazon, so you never know. If one, it might work for something else somewhere else.
Right.
It's only for listening, eh?
Yeah, and it's pretty good characteristic for you too. You know,
There
it's a
she
nice
is.
characteristic.
We
to
should
have you
find
on
it
the
out.
room. Here comes Raven.
Raven, are you wet?
Yeah.
It's a wet raven.
Did you pump out all the water?
For some reason, my washing machine, when my washing machine drained the load, it came up through my bathroom sink.
You've got a
Uh-oh.
clog somewhere
You
in
got
your
a clog.
line.
And it flooded the entire bathroom. It even came out and went into the drawers of the vanity. So out everything, all the hairbrushes, all the clean towels, all the toilet paper is ruined. Everything that was in those drawers is soaked.
You need to get somebody with a rotor-rooter machine.
Oh
Mhm.
I just,
Yeah, don't
Yeah.
try another load of
You've
laundry
got a
until you get
clog?
it handled.
Either that or put yourself a gray line out
a
to
what?
the outside. A gray line.
A gray line.
You can take water from your wash machine
Yeah.
and use it in your garden.
Okay.
Of course,
All
it
right.
You're
requires.
still gonna need to do the clog well.
Yeah, the clog will eventually get where it won't even let
Yeah.
you flush the toilet.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now
You don't want
really
that.
bad.
No, I don't need that on top of everything else because
Yeah.
oh, geez.
Yeah, it's somewhere between $65 to $100 to have rotor-rooter people come out.
Yeah, and on a weekend it's more. So wait till Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. Thank you for that.
I know from personal experience and a nice
But
clean
like
laundry
like
room
Joe was
floor.
talking about. Yeah, well, like what Joe was talking about, you can take the water out hose and you can line it to somewhere else so it doesn't go through the sewer, and you can have it just go somewhere.
Like to your rose
If
bushes
you
or
need to
whatever
wash
you
clothes
have.
for sure, but
Yeah.
Okay.
there's still a problem. Okay.
Yeah. I
Some
didn't go down to the garage and find out what damage is
Your
done down
disappearing tree.
there. Yeah,
Well-
my disappearing trees.
some people, some cities frown on using gray water.
Yeah, to the tune of a fine.
All right.
but you know, it's not a permanent fix. It's something you can get that laundry drained out and safely drained out. Get that
Right.
out and
But good luck
do
doing that.
call for
You know,
somebody.
It's just an ungodly mess. I just don't even want to.
Yeah, don't do it again, and unless you do something like a great line.
Strike a match and go out the door. It's just another thing. Crazy. So
I'll be right back,
anyway.
folks. I need to get a jacket. It's starting to get cold here.
So you guys been talking about cattle mutilations and so forth. I didn't hear the very beginning of that. I've tried to listen with got loud a couple times. So what I have read about these cattle mutilations and what's going on is I think it was Phil Schneider, who was a whistleblower. He was a government contractor who was working at the Dulce base, Dulce, New Mexico.
Prove it exists.
There's an underground base in there, and
prove it exists.
Yeah.
Well, can't. But they did UFO hunters, that show that used to be on History Channel. They did go there, and they found some interesting vents. There's a Indian reservation on there, the Hickory.
In a very small town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
About
Anyway, what
6
he
buildings.
said was that what they do with the cattle, the blood, is that they've got. He accidentally went down into a restricted area and saw some things, and that they had these big, huge vats of this blood, and they were using it for like body parts or something. They were growing different body parts, and they had humans or human-like looking things, maybe clones or something to that effect, that were in these like suspended, like a teardrop type thing. But he saw the big vats of blood, and that they're using the cows for the blood and for some of the genetic material for God knows what. And it was the gray aliens that were down there, and apparently they had an altercation.
Yeah, where he got burned some
Yeah.
fingers off of his hand,
Burnt
and
or
that
something.
big great
yeah,
mark on
and-
his side.
Hello, Site Monitor. Glad to see you guys have joined us. No pizza again tonight. I'm sorry.
Next week ain't looking good either.
You broke up there, Nathan, when you were speaking.
Did I?
Yeah.
I haven't
time.
spoken.
Yeah, right after she
Oh,
did.
it's say
There
talking
you
about
do
the
again.
great. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
that starts as soon
Yep,
as
they're
we get
onto
on
us, y'all.
anything. Anytime we get on to anything.
I'm monitoring over here, and I'm seeing my awesome 28 frames a second go by. I have a 7-second delay, I'm finding. And yeah, I'm pretty blurry, huh?
Not bad. Not from this side. But then
I'm
you got to
watching it.
remember, I can't
Okay,
see
well,
anything.
And I'm way faster than 28 frames per second. I just got a new $69 computer.
Hey.
It's new to me. It's 5 years old, but it still has a i7 processor in it.
There you go.
Oh, it's a relatively new processor.
Yeah. It ain't the age, it's the mileage, huh?
Well, you can say that about several of us down here.
I'm not just including myself.
Well, that was a knife. Did y'all hear that?
Oh,
I
yeah.
did.
The
Who did that?
Sounds like Raven.
Wow.
What'd
Raven,
you do?
Well,
take out
me?
a knife again?
No, I
think
just had a
from
cigarette.
here.
I heard somebody have a knife or something. What was it?
I did too. I heard it too.
You heard it too? Did
Yeah, I heard it
it
too.
happen right when you sat down, Shadow? Do you have?
Oh, there you go again, Nathan.
You said the K word, the N word. What am I saying?
I
K
think
word.
I can't hear you.
I think it was just announcing the King of Swords is here, according to Lynn Ann.
What is?
That sound. Remember last week?
Yeah.
I don't have. Well, I mean, I do have theme music, but when I'm on this show, I guess
Okay, yeah.
So apparently pulling.
It sounded like the typical movie of.
Taking the
unsheathing
sword
sword.
out.
It sounded like a
from the
typical
sheath.
movie sound of a knife or sword coming out.
Yeah.
Samantha heard it in the chat.
Yeah, I
It's
heard
the
it too.
aliens.
That might be the sight monitor saying, "Listen,
Use the
fellas."
knife.
Exactly
Slice
what it
bacon.
sounded like.
Listen, fellas, I got a big knife.
Yeah,
I've got like 200, but none
Yeah,
of them
the
sound like that.
chat heard it too.
And I do have a sword collection, and none of them sound like that. So it's all Hollywood, folks.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got
Yeah,
a
it was like
Korean
a
one.
sound file being played.
yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, it was like a
That was
sound
really weird.
file being
Yeah.
played.
Wasn't here.
That's
Weird.
just the sight monitor explaining the basics to us.
Hey, Nathan, did you get the picture of Jackie's costume? Did I send you that?
I think so. I can't
Jackie's
get to it
Halloween
right now.
costume?
You sent it to me in
Messenger.
Messenger, right? In Facebook Messenger. I can't get to it right now. It would kill my awesome 28 frames a second if I was to try to open another window. And I can't get to it on the
Can't have
phone
that.
because I don't have Messenger.
It's Kill Bill.
Yeah. And
Which part did he play?
He dressed up as a Crusader knight, and he was wielding a sword. And in the
I
picture,
do.
he's
Yeah, I
actually,
saw that. It looked good.
I was laying on the couch, and he pulls out his sword in his costume, and points it at me while I'm laying on the couch. I'm like, fine, smart ass. Click, 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 click.
Try to get it up right now. Let me try.
It was, excuse me.
This is the bad part about depending on one device. I've
So
got
it's
2
your
devices
smart
here, but
ass,
one's
right?
monitoring. I'm going to try to bring the picture up. Let's cross our
Your
fingers.
typical 15-year-old with a extensive sword collection.
I heard it again.
That people,
I did
Just
too.
much
I did too.
softer.
I did too.
I didn't hear squawk.
I'm hearing a lot of metal now.
I heard a bell.
I didn't hear anything.
At first, I thought it was about like a tink, with the.
Someone's playing a medieval RPG on their
Yeah.
handheld device. That's my guess. I bet it's Frank. He's over in the next room.
I'm
Playing
hearing
friggin-
metal.
Oh, he's listening to the show.
But Frank plays a game that has swords in it.
Elder Scrolls,
I
something like
doubt
that.
very
It
much
almost sounded
it's
like
coming
that.
Did
on
Frank
here.
hear it?
Frank, you have everything shut down and turned off, don't you? Except for the show. They're hearing a knife. Like
Did he hear the metal?
he says he's playing Fallout 4 while he's listening. So I don't think there's anything involved there.
What's up, Derek? Long time no see, buddy. Hope you enjoyed the show earlier.
Shadow, are you
good.
moving anything around?
No, man. There's nothing like that makes that noise around here. I haven't played Elder Scrolls in years. Actually, a siren's coming, so I'm going to mute myself.
Okay.
Which
There's
means you're going
all
to miss
kinds
out
of
on
noise
how.
now.
Let's see, and Nathan, you're kind of stutter talking.
Okay, I'm trying to share.
What is that you got, Raven?
What?
Are you pointing at something or what?
That is a
Oh.
cigarette.
You don't need that.
Tonight, I think I do.
What do we got there?
There, that's Jackie in costume.
Oh, okay.
What?
What the hell was that?
That was that was Chewy, his dog.
Oh, it's Shadow.
Howling at the,
Okay.
he's
It's
howling
Shadow.
at the sirens. Mhm.
It's the best trick he knows. Every time a siren goes by, he's howling to his patron saint or deity.
Yeah.
It's
He's
the
singing
big
the song
giant-
of his people, huh?
Yeah. That was my dog.
That was cool.
So does-
That was a
he's-
very cool picture.
Does everybody see the
You can
picture?
his face, but he does.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks, man. Got to show that off everywhere I can. Believe it or not, that's right off the shelf. Bagged costume. The helmet we had to work on, but the costume was just freaking epic. And the
Cool.
helmet was a $10 plastic helmet we repainted. But
Awesome.
that's him in a
Looks
nutshell.
great.
He's just waiting for the next crusade.
That looks great. That was a good costume for his last hurrah.
Oh, it's not. He's only 15. He's got a couple more years. He'll milk it. If he's anything like his old man, he'll milk it. At least this
guess
time.
so.
At least this year, he's got a costume he can wear next year. We've got most of his other costumes, like when he went as the Joker. He was like 4 feet tall. He'll never wear that again.
Dude.
But what are those
He
red
may
guys?
he may not wear this one again either. They grow fast at this
Yeah.
age.
Hey, Nathan, what was that in the last 3 Star Wars movies? Those guys with the red armor. What were they called? You remember?
Those were the Imperial Guard troopers. Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Well, he had that costume.
Imperial Guard troopers. They were.
Mhm.
With Snoke or whatever, his guardsman or whatever. He
Yeah.
wore that costume when he was riding his much smaller bike, and he had to like tie up the skirt and everything, but he wore it to school. That costume was tight, man. It was perfect for a $30 costume. It had all the plating and everything. It was pretty awesome, but can't wear that one ever again either.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming right along. Rubies and all those people who make costumes, they're coming right along.
Hey, check this out. I was shopping today.
Yeah, the ones
right.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Nathan. I'll tell my little story in a second.
You were shopping today. Go ahead.
Okay, you guys know the drill. After the holidays, those of you who like chocolate and candy, you go to the grocery store, and the next day everything's marked down, right?
Yeah, I
50%.
took care of it. Took advantage of that myself.
Okay. How many days before that stuff's gone?
Oh, around here?
Years.
Couple months.
Oh, really? See, everywhere
Yeah,
I've
a
ever
big bag of that lasts for
No, I mean before the sale is gone.
2 days.
2 days maybe.
Here normally it'll be like 3 people will come in and buy it all.
Yeah.
I went today and it's the 4th, and there was a wall of it still there. That's how bad the economy is when people aren't going in
Yeah.
and just emptying those shelves. There was
Right.
all kinds of Halloween stuff. And I live in a small town, and trust me, there are people I know for a fact who go in there and fill their shopping cart and just buy it all, because
Yeah.
it'll last, whatever. And it was still there. I was just like, wow, what I couldn't think of a more clear indication of how bad the economy is when that stuff is still on the shelves.
Well, I usually will buy a few of those to fill the stockings with at Christmas.
Yeah, you just don't get the
You
pumpkins.
know. Yeah. Well, I might give them that too. I'm not particular.
Yeah, they'll
Well,
be
you
good
know,
until Thanksgiving.
It eats just fine. I promise.
And here it was, and not it wasn't even just the Walmart. Okay, it was another store we went to, Walgreens, and they had a wall of it. I'm like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
freaking kidding me? I mean, I'm on a diet, so I don't want none of that. But
Yeah.
it was still there, and there was still costumes and all kinds of other cool stuff left over from Halloween. I'm like, wow, what's it going to be
Well,
like as Christmas rolls around?
Shadow, have you noticed stuff from the last 2 years are being brought out still from the back from trucks?
Yeah,
I've noticed.
Yep. Dollar
there are
General is
certain
a
Walmarts.
major one doing that.
Walmart actually had to erect.
Walmart too.
Yeah, Walmart had to erect buildings outside the building,
Mhm.
outside the store, chain link fence sort of buildings filled with just cargo that they couldn't get in the store after the shipping issue with Long Beach finally sort of resolved itself, and they finally could bring everything in. Yeah, I am outside, Samantha.
Here they used truck trailers and did that with them.
And it was just stacks and stacks of it, and that all went away. But I was just blown away when I went into the store. It's like, I have never seen this in my life. I mean, I used to get up because I used to live across the street from a CVS, and I would get up and I'd go there, opening hours, and I'd grab a couple of bags. I like chocolate. Who doesn't? And
my ex doesn't, but he doesn't count.
Right, and my wind chimes are not going. Normally they're going like crazy, but tonight it's pretty wind free here, and so I don't know what that sword noise was. I have a suspicion I know what it is, but I'm gonna.
It doesn't sound like wind chimes blowing. It sounds like a sound file being played.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it totally did.
Until it comes to the knife sound, and you know what it sounds like is happening. It's like I've got a set of files here. I hear a lot of this. Can y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, a little bit. It sounds like someone going through a silverware drawer.
Right. It's my files, little metal files that I use on the plastic stuff.
Yeah, I've been meaning to ask you, man.
That's what I'm hearing.
See a video?
But I haven't touched them this whole time.
When are we going to see one of those videos, man?
Which videos?
You're old school.
Oh, make a video.
Yeah, man. Do yourself a favor and just.
I don't know. I'm
let yourself have a little fun.
Early on in the panel. Yeah, early on in the panel, me and Lynn were talking about I'm kind of in a rut because I've got all these unfinished projects and things that need doing, and I need to get on it and get back to that. Like you said, let myself have a little fun. I need to do that. I need to finish the computer, finish the room, the shelves, taking the toys. I need to do all that.
Yeah, I sent Frank something. I sent Raven something. It's going to get cold. It's going to get wet. And, you're going to be stuck inside. Grab a coloring book for all I care. Just do something creative before the year's over.
We live in West Texas and East New Mexico. What wet?
Okay. Well, cold. It'll be cold. I know it'll be cold.
Cold?
Well,
yeah. It got cold last week. It's going to be 85 degrees this weekend.
Yeah, I know. It was 40, 34 to 40 degrees, and now today it was 80. I'm like,
yeah.
It's a good thing I check before I go out.
Well,
I just picture myself in this
on that. Frank's finally he let that dragon cure a little bit before he'll give it to me, and I'll paint it. We'll see what becomes of it if I can still do it. So
if it's the one I think, have Frank look up the video my son did painting it, just to give you an idea of what it's kind of supposed to look like.
I don't need it.
Okay, well, it's supposed to be like imagine like a dragon with like made out of lava with dark scales over it,
Yes.
You know, it's supposed to be like, you know, got like molten lava skin or something like that. And
do you want me to copy it, or do you want me to be creative with it?
oh,
Can't
be
do
creative. I just wanted you to take note of the way they sculpted it. It
Uh-huh.
does lend itself to a very sort of lava like uh,
Mm-hmm.
uh, design. I mean, you
Right.
could
Lots
paint
of
it, you know, red,
fires.
white, blue for all I care. Um,
I
just
might do that.
I know I've got one. I've got a bird miniature it's like a very patriotic robotic eagle. I can't wait to freaking paint, but I gotta do a whole bunch of other stuff first. It's on my
Yeah.
table.
I
My
used to
pile of
paint
savings.
professionally, so I have some idea how to handle this one.
I'll bet.
So we'll see if I don't make a complete and utter mess out of it.
Hey, you know what? That's the great thing with paint. You can always paint over it and start again.
That's right. That's right. And I have. I'll get to a place, so just about the place where it starts to, I start screaming at it. You know.
That you know,
Then,
when you get to that point, you're halfway done.
no, with me it's about 3/4. Then start
With me,
screaming at it and say, "You know, good, you're gonna do this." You know.
with me, it was. I should have stopped an hour ago.
I've been there too. I've been there too. But once you get the kind of pile of shame I have, it's like, does it look okay? All right, on to the next one. Is it passable? On to the next one.
I didn't, when I first came to New Mexico, I had trouble getting work because I don't speak the language. I mean that literally.
Yeah, I don't speak
And
work language either.
yeah, well,
I forgot work
anyway,
language like
a
20 years
lovely
ago.
Mormon couple gave me a job painting, and hadn't done it in that kind of scale before, but took their business from a few things sold here and there to hundreds of items getting sold because I'm
Awesome.
good at it. And I wasn't the only one. I mean, I shared along what I could do with it and showed others, but it paid me for a small piece I would get a quarter. The size of that dragon I would get a quarter. The size of uh, foot and a half, I would get $1. So you know what kind of wages I was getting.
Yeah, crap. You know,
Sweatshop
inhumane
wages.
wages.
Sweatshop wages.
Not,
Yeah,
not even that. I think they pay them more in China.
probably. But it was work I could do and work I could get.
I would
No,
literally,
right.
I would literally
Till I
resort
could
to
get a
crime.
nursing job. You know. And once I got into the nursing industry again, I was okay. You know.
You had that one with the lady on the motorcycle.
I don't have one of her. I don't.
Oh,
Frank, will you get me the angels that are over here sitting and the Chinese angel? I did a number of angels, quite beautiful. And I picked up an angel to do recently because I'm getting geared up to do it again because I need to. I
that's what
need
the
it for
pimp said.
me. Pardon me?
Never
That's what
mind.
that's what said.
Never
Spill it.
mind.
Just spill it.
Never.
Frank, will you get me that angel, please?
I'm in deep trouble with that one.
Yeah, you are. I didn't even hear it, but I can go back and listen to it. Then I can call you up and yell at you.
I'm gonna put the ringer on silent.
Oh
then.
yeah, her. That's good. That works. The little Chinese angel too. Our wild girl. Let's do her.
Yeah, I know.
Here's the little Chinese girl. Let's see if we can get her where she can be seen. There we are.
Nice.
Oh, pretty.
She's a
I'm trying to bring
beauty,
you up.
isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
she is.
perfect.
Yeah.
Let me have the wild girl, wild child. Here is Irishki gal. Let's see if we can get her face in there. There
Oh, wow.
we
Pretty.
are.
Well
Doesn't
done.
that look like Raven?
I love the wings.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now I'm more of a leg man myself, so
Oh, there's your legs.
just saying.
Yeah, I got her.
Cool.
She's got a sword. I made one for a lady who likes to collect succubus devils and put a tail on her
Mm.
and did her in red.
Mm-hmm.
No,
And
that's a
here,
hobby I've never
you have
heard
another
of
one?
someone collecting.
I don't collect, I paint.
No.
These
You
are
were
my
talking about
paintings.
a lady that collects succubus.
Yeah, she's a succubi. Yeah.
That's
Let's
an
see if we
interesting
can get it settled.
collection.
He's kind of cool, isn't he?
Definitely.
I have
Gorgeous.
I have
Mhm.
a love for
It's not all that uncommon, Raven. I've actually got almost every succubus miniature ever made for the hobby, going back to the 70s.
There you go.
Really? No lie.
I'm not kidding. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
actually worth quite a bit of money.
there. We took the sword out. Let's see if we can get a better picture of him.
They range, for a 1-inch miniature.
Oh, cool.
For a 1-inch miniature, I could usually, if I
Well
were to resell
done.
them, I could make like $25 to $50 a piece.
Yeah, easily.
I've
A
just
lot
never
of
heard
my
of anyone
work.
collecting
A lot
succubi.
of my work has collected 100, 150, and I
Yeah.
sign my work.
Oh no, these are 1-inch unpainted lead miniatures
it?
from back in the 70s.
I got one more. The little boy and girl.
Okay.
They're a little less on the goth side and a little more traditional.
No.
No traditional?
No, my
Yeah.
dog is eyeballing my egg roll, and I just gave him 2 biscuits. And he's like, oh,
Egg
he's
roll.
Jack in the Box egg rolls in an air fryer.
Now this is a shelf sitter.
Mm.
Okay.
Aren't they sweet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
I wonder
Nice
what you would do
work.
with the new army paint.
What's a new army?
Well, which version, the 2.0 speed paint or the Fanatic?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
Which was the
It's
latest one
getting back.
they put out that changed tones and shadowed itself?
I think you're talking about the speed paint, which is like a contrast paint. When you paint it, it goes into the crevices darker than it does in the raised areas. I just got the whole set. I love them, but they take a little, getting used to, because they're very, very bright, but very thin and very strong colors. The old army painter was like paste, like toothpaste.
Mhm.
Wasn't a big fan of most of it. You really
I
have to
didn't like
water
it.
it down and know what you're doing. It's like using oil paint on a miniature.
Those are all acrylics that I used.
Yeah, same here. None of that testers stuff. If you need mineral spirits, stuff like that, forget it.
No, I can't handle the odor of those. But the generally what I do is I do a base paint, and depending on the type of item I'm doing is what color that base is.
Mhm.
How do you
and
know,
let that
Diana?
how to know what. Nathan's
Oh,
ready for
Diana.
bed because he's yawning. He's keeping it up.
Yeah.
He's had a busy day,
Um,
and we've
Yeah.
told him a
yeah,
bedtime
I did a
story.
conference for.
Those are just
At a
a
conference.
couple of the things I kept for myself.
You had a
I do
conference?
have. We went to the conference, remember?
He said he had a conference and then he stopped.
Yeah. Oh well, I had the conference to go to for the past 2 days, and I woke up early both days to
So
do
he
it.
wants
And
to
yeah,
go to bed.
yeah, I need to call it, y'all. We're well beyond 2 hours, which is the
All right.
minimum I like to go. And I think we did pretty good. We covered a whole bunch of stuff. You know, we
We
covered.
even stayed on topic.
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
Well,
Mostly.
we've been
was
doing
quantum.
this.
For
We've been
us,
doing
it
this.
was mostly. For us, it was very on topic.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even have a script or nothing. So I think we did pretty good. Yeah, we covered everything that I was able to comprehend at the conference for 2 whole days. I do recommend people try to get to this conference because it is a nice small affair. It's not huge like the Bigfoot conference. The Bigfoot conference was like a football stadium. This was like a private showing, and it was very good. To get online, it would take. They do charge. Okay, it is a $30 ticket to watch online, and I thought it was pretty good. And with the online, you can skip parts. You don't have to sit through it. I know this was not a cheap one. Okay, it wasn't $30 for me. And then when somebody cut out, I had to eat the price of that ticket too. So it was expensive. But it is a local event that I'm able to go to and cover and put it in the quantum show as very on topic. So I was happy to do it. And luckily I was able to do it because I mean, damn, tickets are expensive, you know. And I got to figure out day 3. There is a day 3, but it's online only. It's staff only, not open general public, but they're doing an online showing. So I want to find out. I tried to get to it today, but I can't figure out how to. And I don't think I'm being too dense. I think it's just the layout is. That's one last thing I will critique on these guys. It's a little bit amateurish because they're doing the same thing I'm doing. They're charging a lot of money, but they don't have the refinement of having to charge money. You know, I'm doing it here. They're doing it there. They're doing it on a different server, not on YouTube that I'm aware of. And they're charging money to do it, but you get the quality of here. So I'm thinking, yeah, it's a 5-year. It's been going on for 5 years, and they really haven't.
Is it
They
a
have
traveling?
improved.
Is it a traveling thing, or is it always just one location?
It's always the one. It's been the one location every time.
Huh.
And I want them to upgrade, you know, because if I can go to a Bigfoot conference, pay $25 and get the whole shebang, right? Excluding signatures. If I pay what I paid, I should be able to get a big shebang too. But it just seems like they're doing it the StreamYard way and not doing it more professional because we all paid for professional. However,
Yeah, but
I
that
don't
cuts into
understand the
their
logistics
profit.
behind it. You're right. I
Yeah,
don't understand the logistics of it.
It could be a very expensive venue to rent out. That's all I can think. Or they're trying to
Yeah,
supplement
it's a
their income.
music venue in Nashville. Yeah, it's a music venue in Music City, USA. So it's gonna be expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's expensive. I don't know. I just don't know. So I don't know. That's just something I would like to offer constructive criticism on is upgrade the delivery of it. You know, the online delivery of having a web show, because day 3 is a web show. That's my last critique. And the food and the coffee. Everything else was good. Free parking, good speakers. You could go talk to them. It was a genuine conference and not just a convention, where people are just showing off their stuff. If I wanted to show off and steal the show, I'd have brought Clanker, I'd have brought Airlock, I'd have brought the droids and run them around there, and I would steal the show. But that's not what we do in the paranormal. We let people have their AO area of operations, and we don't. I'm not going to steal the show. I could have stolen that show, but I wasn't going to. I could have done this there, but that's not cool. That's like being a troll in real life, and I refuse to do that. And they're probably going to watch the solo that I did earlier. Hopefully. I mean, they're definitely of the quantum crowd. They're just very structured. Not like here, not like my show. They're very structured. They had
what is the
bullet
structure you speak of? Is it a
Yeah,
building?
how does that work?
I know,
All
right?
Nathan, I may be
Yeah,
late next week.
Okay.
The circle on that night. Wait a minute,
Yeah,
do we have a circle?
Me too.
Do we have a circle? Or
Okay.
is it
Oh,
late
next
dinner?
week
Yeah,
I'm
it's
going.
next week.
I'm doing something
Oh, it's this week.
next week too. I'm going back to the water temple because I want some more of that. And I'm going to take cameras. I know what I'm doing now. I know better. And I'm going to go, hopefully, I recorded something on my dash cam. It never made it to the internet, right? Because it's not an online cam. So that video's gone. But
No.
I know what I'm
Does
doing
it have a
now. I'm
card?
going back to Gatlinburg next week. It does, but it's such a pain to transfer from one to the other. You have no idea. It records in some weird old format, and YouTube doesn't recognize it. My player, the tablet crashed when I tried to convert it. So I just said, screw it, I'll just record the screen. That's what I did. And that's when I did that short of the car almost head on hitting me. That's what I did. I just recorded the screen. And getting it from there to here, pain. Okay, I'm just not going to mess with it. But next week, I am going to Gatlinburg. So there is a chance that I will be coming to you live from Shingoji's house. Don't know yet. I'm going to ask him, hey, you want to do this? It's a week in advance. He may or may not. I may just go out there and come back and put up a bunch of pre-records. But I might be on location in Gatlinburg next week. And I'll do whatever comes up during the week. Like yesterday, it came up. The car thing, it came up. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up because I'm falling out over here. My mind is starting to drift, and my chair seems to be rolling around in random directions. But today was a heck of a day. All kinds of cool, weird stuff happened while I was at the conference. The big buzzing in my ear, the pin exploding. Say, nope, you're not doing this. Poof, no more pin. Don't push it. And I was like, yes, ma'am, don't push it. And it was, I got to hear some great talks. And if I can figure out how to I'll buy everybody online tickets. I don't give a damn. If I can get if they will replay it, I will buy the Quantum Crew all tickets to go online and watch it because it's a good show, right? It's a good show. The online is $30, and I will front that. I don't care. I'm already in the hole over it. I don't even care, because well, luckily I can hang this time, and I've been fixing a car, and he hadn't even got back to me. So I haven't been spending no money waiting for it to get fixed. So it's there. You know, it's there, and it's working nicely. But yeah, okay, y'all. Thanks for coming to the Quantum Show, everyone in the chat. Who we got? Diane Boss, Spite Fairy.
Yeah, Diane.
Edgar,
Sorry, I was distracted.
Raven in the chat and right here. And the mystery noisemaker. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Right?
That's fine. Don't
Hey,
forget
Samantha
that.
Morris the cat.
You almost
I'm shouting-
visited
I'm
on
trying to
them
shout
one
everybody out.
time. Remember
Look,
that?
Justin, thanks again, man. I'm going to be calling him Gizmo.
Thanks to the
because-
in-house gremlin with a t-shirt cannon.
Don't forget Edgar.
Edgar, I think Samantha, I called out. Got all
Samantha's
kinds of people
cat. Yeah,
in the
you go.
chat. And
Samantha.
Justin just showed up. Hey,
What's up, Justin?
okay. Oh, Justin has been here.
Okay.
Let's see. Thanks for coming, everybody. If you are here, you are Quantum. Like and subscribe. Check the links after the show,
No worries, Diane.
or now, and go check out the speakers. You know, if I can figure out how to get y'all in, I will. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks, you guys, for coming on and being my
Always a
awesome
pleasure.
panel on the Quantum Show. We are all Quantum here.
Happy
You're
trails.
certainly welcome.
Do y'all want to say? Okay, there you go.
Nada.
Okay,
Siakame.
I get talkative when I get tired. Yep. So we're doing what? We're doing what?
Pushing buttons.
Talk to y'all soon.
Pushing buttons.
You too, Justin. Thanks, man.